Hey everybody, it's me, Jarvis. Or is it? No, it's me. But how would you know? So today I want to talk about something that has been gracing my nightmares, which is this deep fake of Tom Cruise that went viral on TikTok recently.
I'm gonna show you some magic. It's the real thing. I mean, it's all the real thing.
If you have already seen this, my apologies for subjecting you to it again. And if you haven't, yes, you have. I just played it. Before we deep on these fake dives, first, I figure I should probably explain what a deep fake is. I could probably look this up, but I have a computer science degree. I could casually explain this. Deepfakes are a synthetic media in which a person in an existing image or video is replaced with someone else's likeness. See, right off the top of my head. The way that deepfakes work is that they use artificial intelligence and a ton of like photographs and references of the person that's being deepfaked. So like, for example, Tom Cruise. You need a lot of images of Tom Cruise at various angles and vantage points. But lucky for us, Tom Cruise is a movie star. So there's tons of photos of him, and movies are actually a bunch of photos stuck together. So there's lots of famous people are easier to make deepfakes with, is what I'm trying to say. Deepfakes have been in the news in the past for being used for bad reasons, like taking someone's likeness and putting it into some sort of lewd video, which is very bad. It's a no-no. Please don't do it. And also in funny instances, like this TikTok sketch that features Harry Styles. It's not really him. It's a deepfake.
Harry, what do you want for breakfast?
I want strawberries.
Or there's horrifying instances, like somebody deepfaked Hard Rock Nick's face onto my body. At Jarvis always be plugging. Because they just woke up and chose violence. So I'm sleeping great. Anyway, the point of this video is to bestow my nightmares onto you. So let's begin where all of my nightmares start. Tom Cruise.
That's why. Oh. It's, it's a little embarrassing, you know, it reminds me, it was once in Russia.
If there's one thing that's like not believable in this video, it's not the deepfake. It's this trip at the beginning of this video. I like how, I'm sorry, this is not about the deepfake, but it's just about the premise of this sketch. You know, you're filming Tom Cruise, he trips, and then he immediately tells you a story.
It was once in Russia, I ran into Gorbachev.
That's unrelated to anything. Is it related to anything? Why is he telling this story about Mikhail Gorbachev?
He said, Mr. Movie Star, are you nervous?
Also, the TikTok handle on this account is Deep Tom Cruise, so they're letting you know that it's a deep fake. Don't be alarmed, everybody.
I said, no, Mr. Gorbachev, I'm not nervous, I know.
Does Tom Cruise do that? Does he just like randomly when he's talking just like twitch with his hands?
Hey, listen up, sports and TikTok fans. If you like what you're seeing, just wait till what's coming next.
All right, young deepfake Tom Cruise. It's like way to be cryptic. I know that the laugh is like a thing Tom Cruise does, but when it's just like out of nothing, and I'm saying this as someone who does laugh at myself a lot, it's never this much. This is a lot. This is a little extreme. What the hell was that? He did like a Mission Impossible like judo chop to the air. Man, like if somebody had been in the flight path of that swift chop, that would have been in trouble. Maybe I don't know enough about Tom Cruise and how he speaks and how he does interviews. That rhymed. But does he just talk in these like random like non sequitur sentences? Like what is he even saying?
You guys cool if I play some sports?
You guys cool if I play some sports, which is already not how a human sounds.
More for the audio experience.
Now that like I'm not wooed by the deep fake aspect of it all. It's just these videos are all just very strange.
Every now and then I like to treat myself. And it's good because discipline... Oh. I think there's bubblegum inside there.
Are we supposed to believe that Tom Cruise was about to say something philosophical and then he got distracted by the bubblegum that was surprisingly inside of his lollipop? Because I do believe that.
How come nobody ever told me there's bubblegum? Incredible.
In this one, they're trying to flex the technology on us because they're doing all kinds of things that they don't have to do, like have him eat a lollipop.
Oh my God.
Also, who just fucking chomps off the lollipop like a monster? Like, shit, Tom? Fuck. Like, work up to that a little bit.
Incredible.
If anything, this just like confirms what a lot of us already believe about Tom Cruise, which is that he's, you know, kind of out there. So I feel like most people just like saw this as they were scrolling and didn't like look too deep into it. It seems like they were just doing it for clout and also to like raise awareness of the thing. Because the person, I like read this interview with them, and they want to work in Hollywood. They want to work for Peter Jackson. They want to work for Peter Jackson. I almost said Randy Jackson. Which is a very different job. Come to think of it, I think I'm going to pitch some deepfakes to Randy Jackson. We'll see what we can do with this. Randy, call me. The article, by the way, was by thetimes.co.uk. I'm not a rapper, though. These were created by a man named Chris Ume. I don't know. And for his specific, like, Tom Cruise videos, they have like a perfect storm going on of like trying to make the thing look accurate, and you can still, like, if you look closely, tell that it's like a deep fake. He hired a Tom Cruise impersonator who is apparently one of the best Tom Cruise impersonators in the world. I do not know how much competition there is, but there's got to be at least some. I, for example, am the worst Tom Cruise impersonator in the world. This mission is improbable. So his videos in particular took like months and months to make, apparently, which may make it seem like these like deepfakes are really inaccessible for the layperson, so to speak. But they're not, because you don't have to like. He was trying to flex on us. Remember that he was like eating stuff and like getting up real close to the camera, but that's not necessary. I mean, everybody's seen the video of like the Jordan Peele Obama deepfake, but even other than that, there's like random people on YouTube who are making like really convincing deepfakes with like way fewer resources. People shouldn't be scared that this is something people will be able to do on their own a year from now. Most people don't have the best imitator of Tom Cruise in the world, or me, the worst Tom Cruise imitator in the world, as well as my expertise in the hardware, which is true. They won't be doing it a year from now. They'll be doing it years ago. They'll be doing it in the past because it's being done already. We have we have worse deepfakes, and I don't think the deepfake has to be like particularly good to be like eerie and weird. For example, there's this video of Bill Hader that I watched like years ago. Yeah, 2019. And he's telling a story, coincidentally, about Tom Cruise.
The Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Tom Cruise. You're working with Tom Cruise. What was that experience like?
Now, I don't know why Tom Cruise has become the poster child for deepfakes, but here we are.
Now, all these heavyweights, like, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., everybody, and at the end is like me. Like, hey, happy to be here, guys. And some other supporting guys. And then Tom Cruise walks in. My God. And even those guys are like, whoa, and he's super stoked.
Did you catch that?
And then Tom Cruise walks in.
It's weird. It's creepy. Also, we love Bill Hader here. We do stan. Come on. Stefan, Barry. We love Bill. Bill.
And I go, yeah, I'm friends with Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen, and they went to your house. He went, yes. They did come to my house.
This is crazy because it like just seamlessly jumps from face to face, and it's like pretty fucking eerie, if you ask me. Shout out to this YouTube channel, Control Shift Face, which is funny.
That was also kind of a Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 4.5 father.
It went mega viral also with these videos 2 years ago. So I feel like every couple of years we're going to get viral deepfake videos until ultimately our society crumbles or something due to them. And we'll be like, how could we have seen this coming? You know how like everything. The thing that's interesting about this is that Bill Hader wasn't even trying to be a deepfake, right? Somebody else just took this existing video. He doesn't even look like any of the people that he's impersonating.
And I said, Seth Rogen was like, you know, it was amazing. He has like a bike track in his backyard. It's phenomenal.
And he doesn't really sound like them except for the Arnold thing. But I don't know if you guys know this, but there is technology there's like deep fakes for audio now, as well as like I don't know if anybody's made an app out of it, but like there's research being done to like make that happen.
Hey everybody, this is COVID-19. I wanted to take this opportunity to address the allegations made against me.
But you combine the audio deepfakes with the video deepfakes and they come together like peanut butter and the fact that nothing is real. So that's pretty exciting. A peanut butter and nothing is real sandwich. See? Nothing is real. So I think that like deepfakes are worth being concerned about. There's like a lot of like nefarious applications and things that we need to be, thinking about as this technology becomes more and more available. But breaking news, right as I turned off my camera, there was a news report today that a Pennsylvania woman is accused of doctoring photos and video of her daughter's cheerleading rivals to get them kicked off the squad. 3 misdemeanor counts of cyber harassment. Dude. Oh no, it gets dark. It gets really dark. Anyway, this is a real problem, everybody. That concludes our deepfake news break. You know who's not worried about this future is the people who wrote comments on this article. If this is the best deepfakery can do, then why worry? The fake doesn't look anything like Tom Cruise, for goodness sake. That's a lie. You know how I know? Because when you pause a deepfake, it's just a photo of Tom Cruise. So that would be like saying these photos of Tom Cruise don't look like Tom Cruise. Yes, in motion, it like hits this uncanny valley where you can, it doesn't look natural, so you can tell that it's faked. But from far away, or maybe you're not paying attention, you're not gonna... Some people won't pick that up. We've talked about this already. I feel like there's so many people in these comments like flexing that they weren't fooled by the deepfakes. They're like, my giant brain is too sharp for your visual trickery. I'd like evidence that it wasn't Cruise. The simplest explanation, Occam's razor, is usually correct. Here, it's that was the pint-sized pretender himself. The simplest explanation is that the article that you're reading on this reputable news website is true. It's not that the visual effects artist who's telling you that he hired a Tom Cruise impersonator and did a bunch of visual effects work to make it look more like Tom Cruise is a grand conspiracy to fool a random user on the internet. That is not Occam's razor. That is a super complicated explanation than the reality, which is that we have proven evidence of the advancements of computer vision and modeling technology that this is something we can do now. Occam's razor, you can Photoshop Tom Cruise's head onto my face, and thus, if you go frame by frame, you can Photoshop Tom Cruise onto every frame of my face, and suddenly you have yourself a very rudimentary deepfake of Tom Cruise. It's not as if the videos showed him doing anything interesting, difficult, or out of character offensive. At least make it interesting, as a minimum something you'd never see in real life, or what's the point? I'm just going to assume this person didn't read the article or watch the TikToks or has ever seen a Tom Cruise movie or interview or anything. It seems like they're just entirely speaking out of their ass. Tom Cruise playing golf, that's not interesting enough. Maybe put Tom Cruise's head on a horse's body, then we'll talk. Give me Centaur Tom Cruise. Now we're talking. I'm rubbish at recognizing people. However, that doesn't look like Tom Cruise. But you're bad at recognizing people. It's in the beginning of a sentence. Look, I've never seen or read the 1990s tale about a boy wizard, but that's no Harry Potter to me.
Harry. Just Harry.
I love that this person's comment ends with, the bigger problem is photoshopping. like YouTube comments aren't this bad. Excellent self-promotion for Mr. Ume here. Easy copy for lazy journalists whose own authority has been diminished over the years.
Like he spoke in rhymes. It was crazy.
So TikTok does actually have a policy around deepfakes because they have removed, there's this person who just keeps deepfaking Charli D'Amelio and then getting an audience and then TikTok finding her and going like, scram, get out of here. And they didn't remove the Tom Cruise guy because it was like clear that he was creating a deepfake, whereas the Charli D'Amelio person was trying to impersonate Charli D'Amelio. I feel for the TikTok support staff who have to be like chasing down Charli D'Amelio copycats. And I feel bad for Charli D'Amelio, who is first and foremost a child and is entitled to her own privacy. And she would be entitled to that privacy if she was an adult as well. And I really do think that like deepfakes that are used in this way are kind of a breach of that privacy. So it's good that there's like a policy against it. But what bothers me is that there are clear dangers with deepfakes, and just like letting them run amok and stuff. It's just really annoying to me how people can't even imagine that someone doesn't want to be critical all the time when they're on the internet, especially about inconsequential things or seemingly inconsequential things. If everything you saw on the internet, you had to get to the bottom of the case as to whether or not it's real, that's an impossible task. So like to expect that out of every individual is foolhardy, to say the least. Because it's just actually impossible. Like I get it, be critical, be thoughtful. Like if something is gonna, dramatically, concern you or change your worldview in some way, make sure that it's like legit before you go on believing it. But for Tom Cruise golfing on a golf course, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, but that's the insidious, foot in the door to like more dangerous things down the line. Newsflash, this is exactly how fake news works. It's like it preys upon the fact that people just can't be critical of every single thing that comes out of like the internet's fire hose. And if you're someone who just believes Tom Cruise is a little kooky, and then you see a video of Tom Cruise being kooky as you're scrolling and you're listening to it with the audio off, because the video's auto playing, because that's something that we've allowed to happen, then it just like confirms this worldview that you already have. And if you can't imagine how that can be used for nefarious purposes, then maybe there's no problem, and I'm a big dummy. So that's the public sentiment that we're working with. And I guess it kind of like wraps up my feelings on deepfakes. I mean, I am not the one who should be deciding whether or not these things should be regulated and in what way. But at the very least, I think that we as a society need to be aware of like what is possible. It's like if you don't know that sleight of hand is a thing and somebody like makes a coin appear in their hand and then disappear, then they're going to believe in magic. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to like be aware of what's out there and to, not believe everything you see, because even without fancy visual effects, it's possible to, be tricked and influenced by random shit that you see on the internet. And sometimes it's going to like be Tom Cruise golfing and it's not going to have any impact. And other times maybe you're going to like a video of a TikTok dance and it's not going to be the person you thought it was. Or maybe something even worse, like you not liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. This is now a pitch for no, I'm just kidding. I don't know that I don't want to come down with like a really hard and fast conclusion, because I think it's just like, I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to have the answers, but I do think that like I want to sort of use my platform to at least make people aware that this is a thing. Because when I brought it up over the past few weeks of just like having this in my head, a lot of people still don't know that deepfakes are a thing. So, and most people aren't hyperactive on the internet. Most people aren't writing comments to even tell you that they weren't tricked. In fact, there's a bias the other way, where I'm sure that somebody who didn't know that it was a deepfake and then later found out it was might be embarrassed and is way less likely to comment, I got fooled, computers are at it again, than somebody to be like, I am Megamind and you'll never trick me. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that, I don't like to use this term often, but I do think that there's a slippery slope here that at the very least, it's something that we should be aware of. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was fun. I hope it wasn't too dystopian, because I got a little concerned while I was making it that it was a little too scary. And so I wanted to make it fun, because, I'm trying to make entertainment here at the end of the day. I don't know what this was, but it was a video. And with that, I bid you farewell. Maybe I do an outro as like some sort of deep fake. As of recording this, I haven't fiddled around with I haven't figured out how I'm going to end this yet, but maybe I'll cut to a deep fake of me wishing you goodbye. And you'll let me know in the comments if you think it's me, or if I actually got said celebrity in my video. So I can't seem to wrap this video up. In fact, I've definitely cut it by now. So I'm still talking for no reason, because me nor anyone, no one's going to see this. Thanks to Caleb Blocker for sending me a message on Instagram. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. If you want me to butcher your name, send me a message on Instagram. I've always looked like this.